Mamavi has a daily graphic. Good morning to you, Mamavi.
Good morning. I don't want to go into the graphic yet. I want you to say Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Okay. Let's see if you'll be able to do it.
Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.
What were you thinking before?
Univine. I just got a message sent to me that says Univine, and then everybody was Patrick Gomez, my number one enemy in this house.
Which is who, myself?
Yourself and the lead producer. What's his name?
Derek Akosam.
Don't make me progress when I'm around.
Why? We put it in your mouth. Well, good morning,
you know, Africa, we always have to find something for something.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, it's our own. All right, so we're doing the newspaper straight away. I've got the Daily Graphic newspaper, and on the front page of the graphic, Ghana loses, guess how much? It's huge, $36 million in 2 years due to ban on export of vegetables, but the ban has subsequently been lifted, we know.
Wow.
MPs angry with police over killing of suspected criminals. Chief of Staff launches electronic medical records system, and government to implement entrepreneurship policy next year. These are the stories you'd find on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper, but obviously the vegetables there, very eatable this morning. They make you want to eat something. Grab one and chew. Details of the stories inside the paper. Let's start with this export story. Ghana lost about $36 million in foreign exchange as a result of a ban on some vegetable export into the European Union markets between 2015 and 2017. Paper is reporting, and that's according to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. And according to the ministry, Ghana was making about $18 million per annum out of the vegetable export before the ban, which was as a result of non-compliance with EU standards on the export of vegetables. I hope that we've learned our lessons because we're not selling to ourselves. When it comes to dealing with ourselves, we can relax, but not when you're sending your stuff to the EU. Yeah, strict compliance.
They don't want those challenges.
Strict compliance. AGI opens office in China. You'd find that story also somewhere in the Daily Graphic newspaper. I think the First Lady is in China. Her picture is in one of these stories. Job station to benefit 2,500 businesses in the center spread of the paper. But let's see, back page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Yape bridges closed for rehabilitation. And the story says that those two bridges, the Bwepe and Yape bridges, which link the southern sector of the country to the north, will be closed to vehicular traffic to pave the way for emergency rehabilitation works. How many times do we do emergency rehabilitation works on these bridges? Was it Bwepe sometime? Was it last year? Something like that?
Last year.
Yeah. So the repair works, which started yesterday, are expected to be completed by Friday, December 22.
Yeah, maybe not.
Not the particular section, perhaps. Wow. December 22 is almost close to Christmas. That will definitely cause a lot of inconvenience. So according to the Ghana Highway Authority, both bridges were in bad shape and needed urgent attention. The two bridges were constructed in the 1960s and are the only shortest linkages between the north and the south, as well as Ghana and its Sahelian neighbors such as Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, which are also landlocked. The only problem is it doesn't matter that these bridges were constructed somewhere in the 1960s. I think our only default is the fact that we don't have a consistent, regular maintenance culture. So it comes to the point where it has to totally be shut.
I know.
And cause a lot of inconvenience.
You know, in America they have a lot of these. The San Francisco Bridge is one of the popular edifices around the world. I don't know, shut it for 20 days.
You're talking about America.
And that's America, dear. That's the overall, that's the benchmark.
These days, we've been talking homegrown, right? We should have a homegrown strategy to dealing with some of these matters. We shouldn't wait till, and then there's a complete shutdown. And it's only going to be reopened on the 22nd of December, when Christmas will be like 3 days away.
And it will cause more traffic. And the travelers will be calling us, making complaints.
Even markets, women and men, those will be sending their goods across back and forth.
We'll be having some difficulty.
All right, so that's it for the Daily Graphic newspaper. There are lots more stories there. If you find any of them interesting, I guess you can grab the paper later this morning.
All right, so let me look for the paper. I've seen Ghanaian Times.
This is that, the Daily Guide? Do the Times.
Okay. Front page of the Ghanaian Times. I can't use casters. And I'll pay Cassie boy.
Yeah.
How do they say?
And the fire.
And I'll pay Cassie boy. And
I'll pay Cassie boy. What are you saying?
I can't use casters. Presenters under fire. Stop embellishment and comedy show of news content. Varsity Dawn demands. And so we have the story on page 4 of the paper. You go to page 4 of the paper. It says.
I've got a response for him. So
one from a UTAC president, but he's called Dr. Eric Opoku-Mensah. He said the president of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, Dr. Eric Opoku-Mensah, has expressed his displeasure about the use of humor and embellishment of facts, especially in local news content, saying the practice is inappropriate. He explained that news should not be seen as a comedy show. Dr. Opoku-Mensah, who is also the head of the Department of Communication of the University of Cape Coast, said this at the first anniversary celebration of the establishment of the Campus Broadcasting Service, center of the university. And he indicated that news was not a comedy show, and as a result, its product should not be overly reduced to that. Radio presenters and newscasters should desist from the unnecessary humor and polishing of fact, as it counts against their professionalism.
You're done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. Can you tell him that he's not the first person to make this call?
No, but I think that he's re-emphasizing the call because we seem not to be listening.
Do you seriously think that anything will change?
I think it should change.
Nothing will change.
Yeah.
And I guess
because seriously, I don't like listening to them. I don't find them funny.
But listen, I used to think that way too, but I decided to think like the person who's enjoying listening to it.
No.
At the end of the day, who is the content for?
Okay.
It's not for you, the professor. Hang on. It's for the listener and the viewer out there, the person who is enjoying it. The fact that news is hard and straight and doesn't mean that somebody can't relax through it. And I've found people, I mean, that's the point where they really even want to listen to the news.
Or maybe even have a better understanding.
Exactly. So I don't particularly like it when there are very sensitive stories, when there are rape stories, for instance, and they kind of, try to make fun of it. That I totally dislike. But there are other things that they do that make people understand. I was listening
to one of the stories on Mugabe yesterday.
Yeah.
And you can imagine some of the things they said.
Mugabe Abre.
Anyway.
Yeah, but times have also changed. You know that times have changed? A lot of things have changed. And so we've got to move with the trends. We have to, the ethics we don't have to forget. But a lot of things have changed. And I tell you what, if you want to do that straight jacket thing,
nobody will listen to you.
Especially in Chi. Masa, you listen to your own news.
Anyway.
So yeah, that's why I said that. Tell him that he's not the first person to have said this.
I know, right? All right, so we have other stories there. No more EU vegetable ban. Agric Minister Dr. Owusu Efriya-Akoto, Minister of Food and Agriculture, on the front page of the Ghanaian Times there. Denmark's Margaret arrives for 2-day service. Have you been invited to any of the programs that...
Which of the programs are you talking about?
A number of programs have been lined up for her.
Which one's that?
The Queen of Denmark.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You know that there were some selected journalists from Ghana. I think they went to Denmark.
Yeah.
Portia was part, and I think Bernard Able was part.
Portia
well,
Solomon.
At least, yeah.
Okay.
It's just two. Portia's surname changed. Get used to the new one. Otherwise, just call her Portia.
Yeah, Portia Gavo. Yeah.
You're true?
Yeah, I'm through.
All right. Okay, so let's follow up quickly with the Daily Dispatch newspaper. And on the front page of the Dispatch, who becomes NPP national chairman? They've lined up a couple of people. Some of them have run before, and they didn't quite win it. So you'd find Stephen Ntim, Freddie Blay, who's the acting national chairman, a position he very much enjoys. Alhaji Abdul Rahman, a.k.a. Alhaji Shorts. and also Fred Owari. Paper is asking, will it be in Team Blay, Raman, or Owari? Big question there. Robert Mugabe's genuine famous quotes. Oh, are there genuine quotes? Of course there are genuine quotes, but we've made up so many quotes, we don't even know which ones are genuine. Daily Dispatch is trying to help us out.
I mean, even the initial ones, were they from him?
Yeah, you know, he says a lot of things. I guess it's just out of the speeches that he
a
made.
lot of things have been said.
Let's see. It's on page 11 in the Daily Dispatch.
There was one that somebody posted, and I decided to post on my Facebook. I also
there's one on imperialism. There's one on homosexuality. There's one on Britain. Okay, I guess I'll read the Britain one. There's one on Jesus Christ. Okay, so I'll take two. Britain is a very cold, uninhabitable country with small houses.
What true?
This was at a rally in 2013.
It is not uninhabitable.
The houses are small. Yes, true.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one on Jesus Christ.
Relative tells you he has a mortgage paying self-contained. You go and see the house. You said, I went out to me. I said, hey, me tono £400,000.
Okay, so this is the one on Jesus Christ. I have died many times. That's where I have beaten Christ. Christ died once and resurrected once.
Right.
To state radio on 88th birthday. That was a bit way back on his 88th because he turns 94. So he says he's died many, many, many times. He's beaten Christ to that. Amazing. Oh, there are other quotes.
And there's this one. This one is not a quote for him, though. Yeah. But it's arising out of the Mugabe issue. And this one is from Charles Techibwedu, but he has a Facebook name, Dache Hene Aketechie. And he says, I wanted to put Mugabe as my profile picture, but I'm afraid that if I want to remove him, he will refuse. This was also trending. Like he would stay, it will be 37 years after or something. And then one person who has gained some notoriety for quoting a lot is ABA Hussein.
Okay.
And this one is famous. He said, the testicle that would degenerate into hernia can be spotted the very day it is seen. I shared that too. You saw the placard that said, the presidency is not sexually transmitted. Exactly. In Harare. In Harare. Masa in Harare. It was being held by some.
Yeah. There's one directed at the U.S. president. Let Mr. Bush read history correctly. Okay. Let him realize that both personally and his representative capacity as the current president of the United States, he stands for this civilization which occupied, which colonized, which incarcerated, which killed. He has much to atone for and very little to lecture us on the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. His hands drip with innocent blood of many nationalities. And this was an Onga back in 2007. Amazing. He's a great man, by the way. I think that we should not forget, sometimes the greatness is marred by some of the things. He stayed in power for too long, way too long. For 37, that's too many years. And by not going off each time, it's kind of marred everything that he's done. But he's a great man. Let's not take that away from him. Some of the quotes, incredible. He was the only person who could tell it to the West, yes, as it is.
And some of the quotes,
and we will miss that.
Some of the quotes, I don't know whether they are true or not. It says the top 25 quotes of Mugabe. Sometimes you look back at girls you have spent money on, rather than send it to your mom, and you realize witchcraft is real. Now, allow this. This one is true. It's real. If President Barack Obama wants me to allow marriage for same-sex couples in my country, Zimbabwe, he must come here so that I marry him first. That one was true.
Okay. So there's another one related to that on homosexuality here. Yeah. You want more? I beg, grab the paper and read. Roland.
But this one too is true. South Africans will kick down a statue of a dead white man, but won't even attempt to slap a live one. Yet they can stone to death a black man simply because he's a foreigner during the homophobic attacks. Oh, yeah. Okay. He said that one.
Do we miss him already?
Oh, no. He's a man of who is part of our history.
We've had like a Mugabe moment right here on the show.
Yeah, right? He's a man who is part of our history. So, yeah. And we love our history. Yeah. The thing is, can we whisk him away or wish him away? No. We cannot.
No, we cannot. We cannot.
The thing is that his ending has not been good but he could have been a hero, let's say at 2000 or or 1995.
Yeah,
if he had
he
said
should
that,
have bowed out.
Yeah,
way
when the applause was high.
Way earlier, he should have bowed out. Yeah, but power is sweet. So
Charlie, Mr. FIFA,
until you get there,
you know what you will do.
And I guess that's why we applaud Mr. Rawlings so much, because when you've tasted it, when you've been there, when you've been the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, and you know everything is just at your fingertips, and you have to bow. Charlie's hard.
Right.
It's not like I've been close there anyway.
I'm
just saying.
Yeah, you could be close.
Let's do the Daily Guide, people.
Right. On the front page of the Daily Guide, we have the story 400 Volta chiefs back Oti region. You can imagine that. We brought you the news.
400 of the chiefs?
And you have on the front page the picture of the Minister of Regional Reorganization and Development. Can we keep telling ourselves that in English, British English, we don't spell organization with Z? Americans do that.
We don't. In GH, we don't.
Realization.
We're very much British.
But yeah, British. But these days, Charlie, you keep, because you know the computer is always made from America, so there's nothing you can do. But my queen is back. Galamsey queen begs for mercy, and let's go to the story. Wait. Okay. And the lady, 31, Nhwan, who is known to many people as Aisha Hwan, apparently was granted a bill of 500,000 Ghana cedis, with sureties to be justified. She was charged alongside some 4 others, Gao Jinsheng, Lu Qinzhang, Habing Gao, and Zampeng, who all of them were part of the Galamsey activities in Ghana. It's a serious issue.
But the real queen is in Ghana. That's the Danish queen.
Okay. You see the problem. So they decided to put the 2 queens.
Interesting. You didn't see the real queen.
No, I didn't see.
You saw the Galamsey queen.
Aisha Hwan and Hwan. And Danish queen visits Ghana. It's a good one. But today we don't have a center spread for you because Nana Effiakobi Sewampim II, the Asantehima, who lived from 1905 when she was born to 2016. We had a funeral. We'll have the final funeral rites of Nana Effiakobi Sewampim.
Yeah, and that's in the center spread of the Daily Guide.
And on the center spread, they have the program lineup. It is starting on 1st of December. That's next week, Friday, and it's going to end on the 15th. So it's a 15-day activity. Can
I say something to some lawless people who decided to lock up the office of the Daily Guide? You remember?
Yes.
Okay. So the center spread of the Daily Guide, that's News 1. That's where like some juicy stuff
is always there.
And they decided
today we should have been having Ebony and the rest. But today we have.
They decided to put the Asantehima because of the importance they place on the late queen. And you guys decided to lock up the office and be lawless. Shame on all of you who did that. Yeah. Big ups, Daily Guide.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do the Business Finder newspaper on the front page of the Business Finder. Support government's entrepreneurship agenda. Minister challenges businesses. So Mohammed Ibrahim Awal, Minister for Business Development, comes with these headlines on the front page of the Finder. Business Finder turns business on Thursdays. FDI's up 80% in 9 months, and Fitch predicts 5.7% budget deficit. Producer price inflation up 0.7%. How significant are all these figures? You can dig your head in the paper. That's it for the Business Finder newspaper in terms of the headlines that we're looking at today.
So let's look at the Today newspaper. Classrooms turn into toilets, and that's on page 3. That's interesting. It says the headmaster of Tikum Municipal Junior High School, that is in the Idriso municipality of the Ashanti region, has threatened to close down the school. And the threat by the headmaster follows a worrying development where classrooms of the school are being used as places of convenience by some residents of the town.
Oh!
But
okay, but let's break it down.
It's not everything I want to say.
What are the real issues? There's probably no public facility.
Well,
in terms
it's
of
just a miscreant, I believe. Even
but whichever way, you don't use a classroom. No, like what? Seriously?
Oh, free range. You go just.
But that's not allowed.
No, I know it's not allowed, but I'm saying that the alternative, instead of going into the classroom, which is a place of.
I think it's probably. It's something that they're doing. This is intentional. This is. Yeah. It's not because of this absence of anything.
Let's do the last paper. The Business and Financial Times has on the front page unemployment higher among high school living. Which high school? Like senior high school.
Senior high school.
Senior school. Yes, I said, hey, no. Do they?
Yeah, there are people who finish secondary school and don't continue.
Yeah, a lot of them.
So it's that lack of funds.
And according to ISE, that's the
Institute of Statistical,
Social and Economic Research. They say the persons with secondary certificates form about 19.3%, and then 11.3% BEC certificate holders. And then we have 7.3% that is those who finish and don't have jobs.
Okay. So there are people who finish, no funds to immediately continue. Yeah. There are people who don't make the grades necessarily, who give up. Because I think their thing is don't give up. There's always a
secondary school in 19.3%, JHS 11.3%, and then 7% for those who finish tertiary institutions.
And there are people too who are exposed to work very early. Yeah. So they see money. And they're not interested in the school any longer.
Yeah, we get that in a lot more of the low-income communities. And
some of these Galamsey places as well.
Very good.
I mean, Galamsey exposes them to a lot of money.
Ultimately, by the time they are in their 30s, then they're hard up. Because what you were doing in your 20s or in your teens, you can't be doing them when you're in your 30s.
So, for instance, if you had young guys who finished GHS or senior high, who went into Galamsey, and because of the fights against Galamsey now, they are out of work, they will form part of this percentage. Right?
Yeah, true.
Okay, but it's good that at least we have data. That's one of the things that we don't have in this country a lot. It's very sad. It's really, really, really sad. Sad because, I mean, you know that UNICEF with CDD, they bring up this district league table every year, and they are launching one today, by the way.
Are you going there?
Yes, I will be there. We have a conversation live from the conference center this morning on this year's league table, but we also want to look at last year. It's a conversation that we usually have every year. But one of the things they use, the key, is data. And so this year, for instance, we're fortunate that they could get data from the health sector. So it's been included. But to think that not all the areas, not all the sectors, we can't readily get data on all these sectors, so that if somebody's even doing research or wants to put together something, they can't find data. It's incredible.
Sometimes we'll go and quote 2012.
Hey. To the extent that, okay, this districts, what are the bad roads? What roads have they fixed and what blah, blah? They don't know. Incredible. We have to work on these things. We really, and I hope that as we're going digital, these days, everybody going paperless, we'll be able to collect some solid, real data. Otherwise, everything would go to 0.0 in the end, in terms of data collection.
Hopefully.
All right, we're through with the hardcore newspapers. Let's turn our attention. Let's do myjoyonline.com. We'll touch base with City FM Online as well. And then we'll do the BBC. Have you heard Donald Trump?
No, not yesterday.
Hey!
What's the latest?
Hey!
You have some bites?
Charlie, hey!
Is he back in America?
Is he even back in America? I don't know. I mean, when he's on Twitter, you really don't know where he is, and all you care about is what he's saying.
What he's tweeting.
Hey!
I love him because he tends...
State of America.
Yeah, he says what he wants to say. And sometimes his own policy decisions, he's the one who tweets them. And I hear he tweets them personally.
I mean, if you look at the kind of things that he says...
Yeah, it couldn't
be from anybody.
He tweets them personally, so it's not as if, you know, usually you have social media handlers, and they will be handling your handles, your threads, your all sorts of things for you.
Yeah, no, nobody could tweet for him, honestly.
Yeah, he tweets himself. Very, very good.
All right,
and he's always getting replies from Piers Morgan.
He doesn't care that
they're all to the roofs.
Let's do myjoyonline.com, and on our page, the Ghana Revenue Authority is unhappy with Ashanti Region's 4% contribution to national revenue. What that means is that there are a lot of people who are not
paying taxes,
exactly.
even though we know that it's a hub for trade and commerce.
But it also means that maybe the GRA itself is not being creative enough to get those who are not necessarily in the tax bracket. We've been talking about widening the tax bracket. Maybe it's not like people are not paying.
But it's also because you have a lot of them in the informal sector.
Exactly. So they have to be creative.
There's a lot of cash, but it's in the informal sector. So why do you go and collect it?
So we hope
because they don't like working for people and working for offices. You know. I mean, you might find somebody who is well read, gone to school, but he's doing his own business.
Exactly.
And if that person doesn't go through the formal tax regime, it means that person gets untaxed.
So you know this whole national campaign that the GRA has put up now, sending people into areas and for them to educate, for people to voluntarily file their tax. I guess that this will help.
Would they do it throughout the rest of the year? Because usually
I think so.
They like doing it. Okay.
I think so. NDC MPs threatening legal action against revised 2018 budgets. Also another story on our page. IFS senior fellow says government is choking the economy with too many development projects. We had this infrastructure issue, right?
Yep.
With the previous administration. Aswase suspects killed by police were terrorizing Kumasi residents, according to the Interior Minister Ambrose Derry, and we know that it was almost like a one-on-one with Muntaka Mubarak, who is Member of Parliament for the area, who had a different view. Danish Queen Margaret II leads business delegation to Ghana. Or Hilda Quinn, do they say that as well? Or is it just Britain? It's still all Hilda Quinn.
Yeah, I think so.
Cart's mother and baby unit to be ready by end of 2017. Oh, this is good news.
2017 is just next month.
I mean, it's just 1 month away. So before the close of the year, we should be in Kumasi, and it'll be exciting. We should be opening the doors to a new mother and baby unit. Thanks to Sir Kwame Boateng, who did the story in the first place. Thanks to the First Lady, who heard the story, saw the story, and didn't just sit there, decided to be part of it. And she in the lead, together with a multimedia group, we raised some massive funds for this project. And everybody that contributed, those who wanted to contribute, but Charlie cash just wasn't available. We still thank you. Please bring more, because the First Lady is going to other places as well. She says it's not ending with CART. She's going to other facilities. Okay, so let's move on quickly. We've got sports right after the review. Deloitte punches holes in 2018 budget policies.
And PricewaterhouseCoopers too said something.
So that's accounting and tax advisory firm. You can check out what they've been saying. Minority MPs blast minister over Aswase killings, accuse police of murder. So all the angles to this particular story also on myjournline.com, together with other stories and other stories that we've done on JoyNews. You can get a link from myjournline.com. We also have videos and photos. Yesterday, we received a delegation led by the former President John Dramani Mahama, the former Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah. They were all here, exactly, to sign the book of condolence. But, Kaba's passing has been a massive blow to a lot of people.
We've been mourning the whole week.
So many people together. Paula Foko was here yesterday. Alan Cash, I think I saw Alan Cash as well. So many people coming by every day to mourn with us, really. So we thank everybody that passes through. On Saturday, we're marking, as tradition demands, the first week of his passing on Saturday. So you can come by on Saturday. I think you're free to do so from 7 a.m.
Well, very good as it is. And Now, let's get to City FM Online. Are we a better president than Mahama? We know Sylvester Mensah, former NHIA boss, member of parliament for Ladade Kotopong.
He said that?
He appeared on City FM.
And he said, I would be better president than Mahama.
Yeah.
That's a very bold statement.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think I like him for.
I like that. So now he's going.
We need to go talk to him.
So
and
now
see
he's
what,
going
what
head on. He's going head on.
Yeah,
like that.
Straight away.
Like that.
Boxing.
Yeah.
Mayweather.
Bring it on.
You know.
Shall it will be interesting?
Wilder and Joshua.
Listen,
Anthony Joshua.
I am looking forward to the NDC's
prime race.
Exactly, and I'm looking forward to the NPP's chairmanship position as well. Yes.
I thought you said they're flag bearer.
No. As for that one. No.
You don't even want to guess.
It will be interesting.
You are afraid.
The road leading to 2020 will be interesting. Yeah.
I know. But you know, so far, no party has lost first term. No party has lost first term.
Yeah.
Since we started the Fourth Republic. Yeah.
Well, these days, nothing is predictable.
No, I'm not saying that's a prediction. I'm saying that according to...
Finish there. Finish.
MPP's free, SHS a hasty decision, Nunu Mensah, and Kaswa 50 other crime hotspots to emerge by 2021. Zimbabweans attack Mahama for hailing Mugabe, and
they should be fair to him. They should be fair to him. I read what he posted.
But Mugabe is a hero in some sense.
Listen,
he was a liberator.
I think that we're all hypocrites. The fact that there are two sides to everybody, Anna.
Because in their capital, which is Harare now, used to be Salisbury, they needed a pass. The blacks needed a pass to make entry into the capital.
Suddenly, everybody has forgotten the good things that he did. Yeah,
of course.
He's hard to blame. He stayed for too long, but it's no excuse to overlook the good things that the man did.
Because I'm sure if Kwame Nkrumah was there, he would have overstayed, though. He would have overstayed.
Charlie, we had our own wahala.
Yeah, he would have overstayed.
Master, that's debatable. Please move on. Just read what you see. Let's go.
Okay. We are supposed to report what we see. So we have other stories. And Mamavi's grand auntie is around. Danish Queen Margaret II arrives in Ghana for state visit. Welcome, Your Highness. Ghana is a country of beautiful places. We'll show you only the nice places, so don't worry.
Oh no, I think he's. You know the IBIS is here. It's a Danish NGO with a lot of funding from the Danish government. Okay. So I'm sure she's aware of our country. We can take her to the places we want to take her to, but she knows our country in and out.
So we'll show you to only the nice place. Well, let's see how that goes. But let's go to the homepage, the Africa page of the BBC. So let's go to the homepage. Okay, homepage. We won't read this one unless we go to the homepage.
Oh.
Okay. Let's quickly look at police enter Australia's closed asylum camp, and Papua New Guinea authorities are urging asylum seekers who remain there to leave.
They say they will not. They say they will not. They insist they will not.
And then we'll go to the Africa page of the BBC.
Oh, Roland, you'll be trouble.
This one, Mawabi.
New democracy unfolding in Zimbabwe.
I've never been able to wrap my tongue around his name.
So the
what's the name?
Inangagwa.
Inangagwa.
The incoming leader hails a new era and praises the army for removing Robert Mugabe
but it starts with
M. Yeah.
But it's pronounced
Inangagwa. So that's the vice president who was sacked 2 weeks ago. Who is coming back as president. He'll be sworn in tomorrow, Friday. So if he's saying this, the military removed Robert Mugabe, there are still so many questions. So was this, yesterday I had a class, was this a revolution or was this a coup? And I think per the definition and the things associated with the coup, we can safely say this was a revolution.
And there's another story that the army wrote the resignation letter themselves.
Because we haven't seen Mr. Mugabe. Listen, if he had written his own resignation, he would have given them what was read to us in Parliament, and he would have read a different one. If he was reading it himself, he would have read a different thing.
Yeah, it's possible.
But listen, I think the other
he would have
question
said,
is...
all of you, I brought you to power. I brought you to
You
this
can't take me, man.
You can't
So
take
is it still a democracy?
It is.
Is it still a democracy?
Democracy is not a straight jacket. It's a democracy. For
So
the people say they won't change.
This is my own. Okay, I've couched something.
This is the first time in sub-Saharan Africa we've had the
this is
Arab Spring.
A Zimbabwean homegrown democracy.
As well. This is the Zimbabwean Spring.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So let's see. A lot of people are hopeful. They say he can do a lot of things. But the question I asked, if he could make the changes that people think he can make, why didn't he when he was vice president?
Well, the one you blame is Robert Mugabe.
But
so
with
my
Robert
boss
Mugabe in Zimbabwe now, can he be an effective leader, as in the vice president when he's sworn
Well,
in?
Robert Mugabe is not a grandfather.
Yeah.
Grandpapa.
Gucci Mugabe that I want to see.
Gracie.
She hasn't been. Gucci Gracie.
Okay.